G'day everyone, my name's James Folino and I'm here to bring you another edition of the Gold Coast Property Auction and Sales Results. This week we'll be covering the week of Monday the 6th of March up until the 13th of March. Like we do every week, we'll go through some of the clearance rates Australia-wide and then we'll get straight into the properties. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen for you guys now and we'll get straight into it. So as you can see, it's probably popped up on your screen. We've got the clearance rates Australia-wide. There has been a little bit of media speculation lately that the market is starting to slow. We've been monitoring these results over the last sort of 12 months, and what we can see is they're not slowing. Victoria's clearance rate is still up at 80%. They did have less auctions this week due to Moomba and the public holiday, but still very strong. New South Wales up at 84 and Queensland back into the 80% as well. When it comes to sales volume, New South Wales was at the top this week with about 2150 properties transacted. Victoria down at 1,800 just because of the long weekend, and Queensland sitting in third place, comfortable third place with about 1,600. The next closest state would be Western Australia, and as you can see, they've got half that. So as far as the market, it is still moving in a forward trajectory. Let's go straight into it, and we'll go straight into the properties. And we're going to have a look at this one first. There was two properties sold in the same street. We've got this one here. This was at number 10 Allspice Drive in Ashmore. It was on 612 square metres. It was rendered. It was single level. It was 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car. And this one here in Ashmore sold at 893. In the same street, we've got this one that sold. This was at number 30 Allspice Drive. Again, this home here was on a little bit bigger land. It did have one less bedroom, but it also had a pool. So two houses, much of a muchness. The one with the pool, one less bedroom, but it's got bigger land. And this second one sold at 790,000, so about 100,000 less. We're going to move along. We're going to look at this property here. This was at 89 Casuarina Drive in Eleanor. This was a double-story big home, 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car, lovely home, ready to move into. Small block, so block size 450 square metres. And this double-story home there, you can see from the floor plan, this one here sold at 950,000. The next one we're going to look at, we're going to go to Arundel. This one here, this one was at 49 Melbourne Road, Arundel. This was a 3-bed, 2-bath, single garage with a car space. As you can see, huge backyard, so ample room for a swimming pool. It was single level, brick and tile. And this one here in Arundel on 642 square metres, this sold at 791. So pretty good buying under the 800 mark. We're going to move along. We've got this one here. This was in Helensvale. Again, great buying. This was at 2 Minden Crescent. This was a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2 garages, plus the carport, including a swimming pool. Really lovely home. And this one here, great buying. Sunken lounge, as you can see. Needs a bit of a reno potentially. But again, for a young starting family, great home. This one, 700,000. The next one we're going to move along. We're going to stay in Arundel. We've got a townhouse or it's a part of a complex. This was at 113 Arundel Drive, Arundel. It was also 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, double garage. It was in a complex with a pool, so there would be a body corporate attached. It wasn't advertised what the body corporate was, but this home here sold 545,000. Next one we're going to look at, we're going to go to 85 Robert Street, Labrador. We've got this one here. We've got a double-story, older style home, big size block of land at 673 square metres. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath. It's in livable condition at the moment and could be rented out straight away until you seek plans to do something different. But good block of land. As you can see, that's the floor plan there. And this one here in Robert Street sold at 795,000. The next one we're going to go to this one back in Arundel. This was at 16 Blackwater Circuit, very small block at 340 square metres. This was a 3-bed, 1-bath, had accommodation for 4 cars, so plenty of car accommodation. As you can see there, it was on a corner. And this home here in Arundel, again, in an estate, so with a body corporate attached, this one here sold $605,000. We're going to go back to Labrador. We've got this one here. This was at 2675 Brown Street, Labrador. This was a townhouse. It's a brick, double-story brick and tile. It was 190 square metres on the inside, so quite big, quite livable. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath with 2-car accommodation, one being the garage, one being the car space. As you can see, it has a backyard, pool in the complex. Great property here. And this one in Labrador, again, for the young family, sold at $455,000. So really good ingoing price there. Next one we're going to look at is this one here. This was also just down the road in Southport. This was quite an interesting home, 33 Charlton Street, Labrador, for just over 500 square metres. As you can see from the picture, it backs onto the car yard here, and this property would lead itself to development potential. It was a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1-car space in its current form, but potentially someone could come here and put duplexes, potentially a triplex or a 4-plex on this land. And this one here, again, older style home, needs a lot of work, probably better to bring this one down. That sold at $800,000. The next one we're going to look at is just a block of land in Broadbeach. That's not the one, but it was a block of land. It was actually this property. So this property here has been now cut in half. So it was cut straight down the middle there. And it was this front block of land that they sold off on the weekend. It was only 400 square metres. It was land only. They've kept the back for themselves and the waterfront, and they sold the backyard off for $1.2 million. What they paid for it, so there you go. It was sold in 2020 in November, so about 16 months ago, 1.75 for 1,000 square metres. They've kept the waterfront, and they've sold the front off for 1.2. So in other words, they got their waterfront block for 500,000. So very good development for that person there. We're going to move along. We're going to look at this one. This was in Tamborine. This was a lovely property. This was at 3 to 5 Tamborine Mountain. It was on 1,500 square metres. It had solar, great views, cathedral ceiling, ample room for cars. I think it did have potentially a separate self-contained apartment where you could do a little Airbnb setup. Really lovely home. You're in the country, but you're only an hour from the Gold Coast. And this one here sold $877,500. Next one we're going to look at, we're going to go to Kumbaba. We've got this one here. This was a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car home. It was about 15 squares on the inside. It was on a corner. Lovely home, ready for a young family to move into. Lovely kitchen area, aircon. And this one here at number 1 Seidler Avenue, this sold at $760,000. Next one we're going to look at is we're going to go to, let's have a look. I can close that off there and close that off there. We're going to look at, there was a property, I think I've lost it, so we'll move on. We'll go to this one here. This was at 27 Bullimar Avenue in Burleigh Heads. As you can see, the block of land was sold in May last year for $1.7 million for the block of land. Now that block has recently changed hands again. So if we look at it, I should be able to find it here. Where is it? Sorry, that one. I think it's this one just here. So there it is again. So that's the same one, and it's advertised now. So the person who purchased at 1.7 went and got some permits, put some permits on it, and it looks like it's been sold as a full development to someone, fully built, and at a price of $6.775 million. It's working out that each unit is worth about that 1.7 million each built. So the person who bought it paid 1.7 for the land, so about 450 a site. They've built it and they're selling them for 1.7 each. So very interesting development there as well. The last one I'd like to show you is this one. This was great buying. This was at 33 Leonard Avenue in Surfers Paradise. This was 8 one-bedroom units. all potentially slightly under rented, getting about 260 to 280 a week. One bedders now are sort of hitting upwards of 350 to 400, up to 450 a week. This was 8 units, 8 one bedders, 1 studio, and this sold for the grapevine at 1.8 million and a great return. So they're the properties for this week. I hope that's been of interest to you. Again, if you need any assistance with your property hunting, please don't hesitate to give us a call. More than happy to help you. Otherwise, until next week, good luck with your property hunting, and we'll speak then. Have a great one.